At our house, we store baking dishes and baking pans inside the oven. And I would say about 85% of the time when somebody goes to preheat the oven, they forget to take those out. Now, and then it's just hot, and you got to set them in the sink or something. You got to do something with them, but they're, of course, they're frying hot. Now, you're probably wondering yourself, why in the world is he telling us this nonsense story? Well, it's because I feel the obligation to put out a public service warning. Don't store your guns in your oven. And I know 99.999% of you are like, well, of course you don't store your guns in the oven. But let's just say some people have put guns in the oven. Maybe they have a knock at the door and they put a gun in the oven. Or who knows, maybe they're trying to hide something from somebody and they put a gun in the oven. Like, whatever the reason is, don't do it. Don't do it. And I share this because just last month, a man put a gun in his oven, to store it there for whatever reason, and then later went to heat up the oven forgetting that he put his gun in the oven. Kind of like, there we go back to the first story I shared there. It had 6 rounds of ammunition in it, 9mm ammunition in it, and it exploded. It blew out the door. The term, strangely, they use for when you heat up ammo and it explodes is cooked ammo. But that's literally what he did, was he cooked his ammo. It blew out the glass door of the oven. In addition to that, it melted the gun itself to the rack. And I'll kind of throw in some photos here. Now, where you might be sitting there thinking, boy, I just wasted a lot of time watching this video because, of course, I'm not going to put my gun in the oven. I just felt it important to not only share this for 2 reasons. Number one, I just bought a plastic tub from Walmart that literally has a sticker on it with a baby that says, don't put your baby in these plastic tubs. So this is apparently what we're working with here. You don't have to be smart to pass a background check. You just have to not be a criminal and have an address and a valid ID. So I share all this with you because not only should you not be putting your gun in the oven, but you should really not be putting your gun anywhere that's not its normal place. I either have my gun on me or it's in the safe all the time. On my body or in a safe. And I know, like I've been in the situation where I kind of come home and I'm downstairs. I don't want to take my gun all the way upstairs, so I might put it in a cabinet or something. And, and then next thing I know, it's in the middle of the night and I wake up and I'm like, where's my gun? Oh, I left it in the cabinet downstairs. Like, this is something that we just have to get rid of this whole thing. A gun is a tool that requires a higher level of dedication to safety. And I believe that we have to have a higher level of respect for the firearm than anything else, other tool that you might have, whether it be a hammer, a saw, whatever the case may be. You need to look at that firearm and have a higher level of respect for it and a determination to be safe with it. And have regular practices set aside. If you're going to take your gun, just put it in the safe. If you're going to pull it out of the holster, put it in the safe. That we just need to have that practice, or whatever your safety routine is, get it as a routine. Because I guarantee this guy that blew up his oven is thinking to himself, I can't believe I did that. I know he's shocked that he was that foolish, but I think that's kind of, again, like I've gotten home and thought, I'll just put it in the cabinet. But that's, put it somewhere safe. Where you know what that is. You know what your house is like. Put it somewhere safe. So there you go. Don't cook your gun, in case you didn't know. Don't store your gun in your oven. Don't preheat your oven while your gun is in there. Don't put loaded ammo in an oven, in case you didn't know. But more importantly, just be responsible with where you're setting your firearm at all times. firearms. And that's really kind of the backbone of why I made this video, is just be a responsible gun owner and put your gun in places that is consistent with what you always had intended when you bought that firearm, if that makes sense. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on any of this stuff, put it below. Do want to take a moment and say most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm. Help us to get to 500,000 subscribers. Click it below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.